Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's video, to a little bit of Wingman Wisdom. If you're new to the channel, as I always say, a special welcome to you. Wingman Wisdom is a different kind of a YouTube channel in the RV space, as they call it. I'm a former campground owner, a lifelong lover of camping and RVing and the great outdoors. I love most of the people that do it most of the time. So welcome to the channel. Many of the people that watch Wingman Wisdom are very, very smart people. You know, they're smart, but there's something else. Some people that don't watch the channel or don't like the channel, they're too smart. Just ask them. They're too smart for this. Smart people sometimes tend to be arrogant. The people that really enjoy Wingman Wisdom are a little bit smart and a little bit wise, and that's the way I see myself. We have a open, two-way conversation about life and experiences, and of course much of it revolves around RVing and camping, the great outdoors, and then I try to splash in a little bit of opinion, if you will, not to get you to agree with me, but to try to get you to go, maybe that guy has a point there, and maybe not. So I did a video recently called RVers Getting In Over Their Heads. It's not long ago, and a lot of people commented, and surprisingly, many people disagreed with the Wingman. They were very respectful, most of them, but I'm going to talk about some of those comments and some others here in just a bit, after, as I call it, a bit of Wingman Wisdom. You may remember this from high school. That's when I was first introduced to it. It didn't mean a whole lot to me because I wasn't paying much attention back then. But I saw this the other day, and I said, I remember that. And I started looking at it. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, where are we? So let's talk about it right now. Let's go to the screen. Here's the guy. He's been dead for more than 200 years. His name is Alexander Tytler. He was from Scotland, born in Scotland. He was a historian. He was a writer. He was a brilliant man, brilliant and wise. He was both. And he saw the big eye, the big picture. And as a historian, he looked back in time. He came up with something called the Tytler cycle. I'll show it to you in a second, but this story says Alexander Tytler wrote, quote, "A democracy is always temporary in nature. It simply cannot exist as a permanent form of government. The average age of the world's greatest civilizations from the beginning of history has been about 200 years. Guess where we are? We're way past the 200 years, but we're still going. I think we're hanging on by our fingernails, though. It says, why do you ask? Well, you're probably wondering, why did Tytler say that? Well, let's jump over to here. This is called the Tytler cycle. And he says that every single democracy goes through these phases. And they start out with bondage. A society, a culture, a people, they're in bondage and they're oppressed. And then they move from hard work and so forth to spiritual faith. And when they have faith, they have courage. They take action. And when they take action, they find liberty. Now, I hope you're with me on this and you see the history of our country. It's not just our country. This has happened with democracy since the beginning of time. So it goes from bondage to spiritual faith, courage, liberty, to abundance. Man, we got a lot. Life is good. Then it goes to selfishness. Remember, this guy he's been dead for more than 200 years. He saw this. A society becomes selfish. Then we become complacent. Then we become what? Apathetic. Do you see people just, it's okay. It's okay. Then we become what? Dependent. And we're depending on the government taking care of us, somebody else to do the work for us. We just depend on other people, and we are so dependent now. And then guess what happens? You fall into bondage. We are setting ourselves up for something very, very bad. I want to know what you see. Can you see we're following this cycle that Alexander Tytler came up with back in around 1800? Drop a comment below. You may think, oh, I don't see anything like that, or, this is unavoidable. To me, I see it as unavoidable. Maybe we can push back. Hopefully enough of us can push back and stave off the inevitable. But I think we are somewhere in this cycle towards the end of it. Where do you think we are, and when do you think we're going to go to the next phase? Tell me that. All right, so let's jump into RVers are in over their heads with some comments. All right, so let's jump into the comments now and scroll down and pick out a few. There's one, RJ. The problem, as I see it, sir, as a 68-year-old man with 5 children and 12 grandchildren, it's quite simple. You are not able to relate to young people. As a psychoanalyst, I see you as judgmental, and I hate to say it, but as a tyrant. Oh my gosh. RJ, thank you. Respectfully, I got to ask, are we supposed to be non-judgmental? I mean, are we judging people by calling them judgmental like you just judged me? I don't think that I'm being judgmental. I'm being opinionated. I'm stating my opinion, my views, my theories. I'm not judging like a final judgment. I don't do that. I don't think that that's what you meant, that I was judging people. At least I hope that's not what you meant. Yes, I can be viewed as a grumpy old man. I'm sort of like, that guy in the Bible, Noah. I build my boat and people are going, what's that crazy dude doing over there? Well, I'm just busy, just doing stuff. And I hope I never need my boat. I hope I never need my ark. But if I do, I try to believe that I'm going to be ready for it. So RJ, thank you for your comments. Alan says, I'm with your daughter. No one likes a grumpy old man. Nobody likes a Karen. You have to have thick skin to be a YouTuber. By me expressing my opinion and my thoughts, even if it comes across as a complaint, is that a Karen? Are we never supposed to complain about anything? I'm just stating what to me seems like facts. But I'm different than I was when I was 30. Hopefully you're different than you were when you were 30. We become this human being, these older, wiser people, because we have lived a long, long time. So my daughter is 30 and she thinks like a 30-year-old. That's not bad. I did that at one time. But thank God I started living my life and failing and succeeding and seeing the world. My eyes opened up. It's kind of like looking through a windshield that's all fogged up. And when you live a few more experiences, you can wipe that fog off. You can get a clearer view, a clearer vision. Doesn't make me smarter than anybody. It means that I've seen a lot, wiped off the fog off of the mirror, off the windshield rather, and I can see more things. I think that is what wisdom is all about. So I know I do come across as a grumpy old man sometimes. Perry says, I like your RV content a lot, but I have no idea what this talk about a long winter is referring to. Okay, Perry, I'm going to continue with what he said here in just a second, but part of what I said in RVers are in over their heads is I think that we are in for a long winter, not in the traditional, it'll be over in March or April sometime. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a long winter of slowing down, economic slowdown, lots of changes, and I see them taking place. If you don't see them taking place, respectfully, I say that you're probably not watching, or you're watching something different than I am. Neither one of us is right, except we both can see what we can see. I'm not yelling at you if you don't see things my way. I promise you. Perry continues to say, gas prices are down somewhat. Savers can make a bid on deposit accounts for the first time in years. Inflation is cooling somewhat. While it may not be a great time to borrow money, it is a good time to save for future dreams. Maybe there is wisdom in that saying from Shakespeare, neither a borrower nor a lender be. The future looks pretty bright to me. Recent advances in medicine, science, and technology provide promise of better days for everyone. Perry, thank you. A lot of what you said, I can see. But the smart people that advance medicine and technology, are they wise? Are the things that they invent, are they smart things? Is it smart to experiment with things that could kill off all of us? Is that a smart thing? Is it a wise thing to do? I think that people are lacking the balance. And here I am, a man who says I'm a little bit smart and I'm a little bit wise, but I think I'm smart enough to know that it takes both to move us forward so everybody benefits. I see some bright things, I do, but on the other side, I see some very, very dark things, people who are putting us in jeopardy as a country. And don't go telling me it's because of the TV channels I watch. I read a lot of books. I appreciate your comments. I read every single one of them. So Perry, thank you. I appreciate your optimism. I truly do. A lot of people commented on this. Ray Bone Crusher. Ray, thank you so much for being a part of our community. Every time you post, it's like, this guy has got it going. This is a wise person, folks. Ray says, many people don't know what it is like to go without. They will be in for a big surprise very soon. The president said he was continuing with his policies and changing nothing. That does scare me. When we retired, I figured we would be okay, even in bad times financially. Things worked out okay until this new administration got in. My base is bleeding, and inflation in the last 2 years exceeds 20%. Yes, it does. I have very close friends that turned 65 just a few months ago. And for years, they're going, I can't wait till I turn 65. I'm going to be retiring. And guess what? They say they're not going to retire. And it's because of the last 12 months. They can't afford to retire now. So if you've got enough money to retire, God bless you. But I think that we all are going to have to suck it up and work hard because, as I said previously, I think we're in for a long, long winter. So thank you, Ray. Tom says, my feeling is that, Alan, you are a wise man in a troubled world. Thank you for sharing the wisdom you have attained over the years. And yes, it takes years of living to come to these conclusions. I'm 71 and have learned so much. It never stops. I think we should brace ourselves for some difficult times. Many of the young don't know what's possibly coming because they've never lived it. But nonetheless, it's coming. Amen, Tom. It's just so sad, isn't it? To see the inevitable, going back to the Tytler cycle that I talked about. Let's bring that up on the screen. There we go. Where are we in this cycle in this country? Where are we? And does it matter? Can we stave off the next phase? Where do you think we are in the Tytler cycle? Let me know in a comment below. Let's just get one more, I think. And golly, a lot of people commenting on this one. There's our buddy Lane. Lane says, yep, we're preparing for a log winter too. And you're right about most of the chaos being by design. How else can the powers that be control you? We are still traveling some, but everything is measured and low key. Good video, Alan. Please keep up your channel. People are going to catch on. I hope more people catch on, Lane. As I said earlier, this channel is really for people who are, they're both smart and they're wise and they're open-minded. They're open-minded to seeing things. If we don't see things, that's called, what is that? It's either willful blindness, it's stupidity, it is ignorance. And I promise I'm not trying to talk down to anybody. But come on, if you're watching this channel, the chances are you're a 45-year-old person or older. Your window was fogged up, but you didn't know it. That's all you could see growing up. And every experience, every year, every heartache, every success, the window, the fog comes off a little bit and you can see through it. But when we're born, we can only see what we can see when we're young. And right now we can only see what we can see. But I'm trying to look ahead and I look at that Tytler cycle and I say, oh my God, I have to do something. And I'm trying to do it with my family. I'm trying to do it by engaging with you here on Wingman Wisdom on YouTube. And hopefully you say, you know what, I'm going to try to push back. I'm going to go out there and start building my ark. I'm going to prepare. It's about preparing, not for a flood, a metaphorical flood. And I think it's going to happen. I hope that you're preparing as well. So those are some comments. I do appreciate it very much. Let me know what you think of this video. Your comments are important to me. I read every one of them. I read all my emails and listen to every voicemail, and I appreciate all of them. If you'd like to send me a note personally, you can click on the word more in the description below. It will open up and you'll find links to many of the people that I do business with inside and outside the RV industry, links to the folks where I buy my shirts, and you'll also find my contact information. I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're getting in the holiday spirit because I know Christmas is right around the corner. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe. Have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home.